All right, so what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy. And for this video, I wanted to give you guys an update in regards to what is going on in Marvel Future Fight when it comes to War Boss Ultimate and Alliance Battle, because after the recent update, the backlash that came along with it was insane, and the developers have actually responded in a timely manner, much faster than many of us expected, and this is very, very good. However, before I jump into their response, I want to send a message directly to the Marvel Future Fight team. If anybody is watching this, it should not ever come to this point. It should not take people downrating the app in the App Store or the Play Store, leaving nasty reviews, right, threatening to boycott the game and all kinds of crazy stuff. It should never, ever get to that point for you to listen to your player base, because the things they're saying now is the things they're saying months and months and months in advance. It should never get to this point. If you have somebody who is like collecting all the feedback from the game and bringing it to you, they need to do a better job. And if they cannot handle that job, you need to either put more people on that job or get somebody more competent. Because the thing is, people don't just go out of their way to like leave nasty comments or reviews, right? And just go crazy on the forum, Reddit, Discord, YouTube. Like, some people will, but most people won't, right? So it tells you that if there's a large amount of people complaining about something, it's generally because they have a deep-rooted love for this game and they want to see it continue to succeed. There is something that they think is worth looking into, and you remaining silent for months or years at a time, right, without giving like actual feedback and letting us know what is going on is not good. It's not healthy. Communication is key. And at times it seems like you guys forget that, and it should never get to this point. Thankfully, it didn't get to the point it got to with the Ultimates, but I think after the Ultimates, no one was ever expecting it to get this nasty again, because that was supposed to be a learning experience. However, you guys did learn, you guys did respond in a much more timely manner, but it never should have got here. All right, so let's take a look at what they had to say and the changes that were made. So a few hours after the update actually went live, we got this post right here: update developer response, right? And it says, greetings agents, this is the Marvel Future Fight development team. First of all, we would like to thank you for sharing your varied opinions after the February update details were uploaded. The thing is, the same things what people were saying after the details were uploaded, they were saying it before. But okay. We would like to explain our intentions behind the World Boss co-op character cooldown time increase and the tolerance ability to combat mind control. Changes which had been implemented today. In the November update, a change was made for the co-op characters to only use one useful skill in order to improve the gameplay complexity. Okay, I definitely agree that it takes a lot of RNG out of the game when you know exactly what your striker is gonna do, for better or worse. Some characters use a terrible skill, whereas before you had a chance of getting a better skill, right? But I do like the fact that you now have a good idea, like a dead set. If you test it beforehand, right, you know exactly what your striker is gonna do when they pop out. That's very, very good. So let's move on. However, due to the unintentional lower difficulty, we concluded that the fun factor of War Boss had been reduced and required rebalancing. This is true, but definitely not in the way how you guys approached it. To minimize the change in supply and demand of materials due to the difficulty adjustment, hold up, pause. You guys are saying that the difficulty adjustment is the reason why you gave out more CCF. It has nothing to do with the fact that we have tier 2.5, aka awakening skills, which now require CCF in addition to tier 3s coming in, which means we're gonna have multiple updates when we have to spend CC. Not have to, but there's the option to spend CCF on awakening characters or on tier 3 characters. So basically what you're saying is, if you guys never tampered with the cooldown time or the striker system, you never would have increased the amount of CCF that we were getting. That's interesting. Let's move on. right? So, to minimize the change in supply and demand of materials due to the difficulty adjustment, we increased the supply of cosmic cube fragments in the January update. Interesting. After investigating the cause of the difficulty decline, we discovered that the world boss movement had been excessively limited due to the short cooldown for co-op character skills and the mind control effect. Okay, today it's mind control, tomorrow it's something else. So nerfing mind control does not solve the problem. If you bring in other type of effects that work the exact same way as mind control, like reality manipulation, like you guys are bringing in this update, soon enough we're going to have multiple characters with that, or we can start replacing mind control characters with characters that have entice or charm that pop in as a striker. So no, okay? No, nerfing one thing and then replacing it with something else in the future doesn't solve the problem, okay? Changing the rules of combat like 2 years later doesn't fly by me. It's like playing a game of basketball and halfway through the freaking game, right, the ref comes up and say, okay, guys, everybody needs to put on blindfolds and then try to take 3-point shots. No, okay? No. There's a reason why nobody complains, right? Anybody with like reasonable, like, you know what I'm saying, expectations complains about giant boss rate and the fact that time freeze, mind control, and other types of crowd control does not work in giant boss rate. It is because the rules of engagement, the rules of combat were set in stone when that game mode was released, right? So nobody has a reason to say, hey, it was working yesterday, why is it not working today? You dig? People didn't buy characters and build them for a specific game mode to have them then be nerfed 2 years later. It is not good for business. Okay, so let's move on. Therefore, we decided to reduce the frequency of the co-op character appearance and adjust the balance of the mind control effect. Let me say this, I could have lived with you guys making the cooldown time higher. 10 seconds, pushing it too far. I would say 6 seconds, maybe even 8 seconds, but that's as high as I would push it, right? 3 seconds, hella frequent. I can definitely see why you guys would want to work on that, because at some point, the strikers just do so much that it feels like it's the strikers clearing the content and not the actual character that you're using. And in some instances, having the strikers pop out so frequently will cause your device to lag, right? Or maybe overheat your device if your phone isn't the newest one on the market, right? I have had complaints from people saying that their phones are overheating, and still to this day, they complain about that. So, moving on. However, after the update was released, we discovered an error where the tolerance ability was applied not only to mind control, but also to other effects such as defense reduction. We wanted to solve this issue through a patch, but upon further deliberation, we have decided to remove the tolerance ability and revert the striker cooldown to its previous duration. This is very, very, very good, right? You messed up in the beginning. You showed people that there is a way to get to stage 99. It's not something that you can then go back on after people probably took the 2 months that this was looking really good and bought uniforms, bought characters, right, to push to 99 just to have you then nerf this effect and then make it so that their investment was wasted. I know plenty of people that did not spend a lot of money on the game, but because they saw how useful Weapon X was, they went out of their way to buy Weapon X just for you guys to then nerf the frequency and then nerf the effect of defense down. Bad business move. Okay, so I'm happy you guys actually went back, and I think you should leave this thing as is. What you should do is actually create a whole new game mode where mind control and other stuff are affected by this tolerance ability, because I like the idea of it. I just do not like the fact that you guys are implementing this change into a game mode 2 or 3 years in the making, right? You should not be doing this when people are already invested a lot of time, money, and effort into attaining and building characters specifically for this piece of content. No, it's not a good look. Okay, so I'm happy you guys reverted it. Since the World Boss fun factor has been diminished due to the balancing issues, we will continue to search for a solution that our agents will be satisfied with. You know what you should do? Create a whole new game mode, put this tolerance thing in there, and work off of that, okay? Leave World Boss Ultimate alone. I don't think this game mode needs to be touched. It's probably the best game mode you have right now. I would say leave it alone. Work on the other game modes that need to be improved, like Conquest, ABX, Timeline, etc., right? Anyways, in addition, we are preparing to readjust the maximum scores and rewards in Extreme Alliance Battle, as many agents have requested. So please keep an eye out for more details on this patch notice to come. We apologize for not listening to our agents in the past, and we will do our best to provide a more stable and enjoyable service in the future. I hope you guys take this last sentence very, very seriously, because I'm going to be here, right, to hold you guys accountable. You can't just say, we apologize for not listening to our agents more in the past, and we'll do our best to provide a more stable and enjoyable service, if you don't actually mean that. We don't ever want to be back here where people are saying we're going to boycott the game, we're going to freaking downgrade the game, we're going to leave nasty reviews to turn people off from the game, because that's not what any of us want to do. We actually love this game. People spend, like for me, for example, I spend 6, 7, 8 hours a day on my phone playing Future Fight, whether it's min-maxing a character or playing through content or figuring out how to beat content with different characters. I love this game, right? And I was on the verge of saying, hey, we actually need to go down with this boycott and actually get some attention, right? So I'm happy that you guys like acted quickly, right? Because it really breaks my heart when I see so many people turning against the game and quitting left, right, and center when they've invested like hours of their life for years, time you will never get back, into a game, especially when it seems like the development team does not care, as you guys seem to be at times, okay? Anyways, then we have another post here, and it's the server patch that they mentioned. They followed up very, very quickly. This is good, all right? So it says, greetings agents, this is CM Fragment of the Marvel Future Fight team, here with some good news. Let me tell you about the patch that we will release for Marvel Future Fight. After reconnecting to the game, the patch will be applied. So if you have logged in the past like 8 hours, you should have the patch and things should be a little different for you now, right? It says the balance changes applied to World Boss Ultimate in the 2/12, so February 12th, update will be removed, which means the tolerance thing is now gone for both mind control and defense down, and the cooldown to the strikers being bumped up to 10 seconds has now been reduced back to 3 seconds. So this is very good. Additionally, some rewards for Ultimate Alliance Battle, I don't know why they're calling it Ultimate Alliance Battle. I thought it was Alliance Battle Extreme or Extreme Alliance Battle, but whatever, has been increased. The rewards have been adjusted by score as follows. This is where I'm kind of salty, and this is where I'm going to say I don't think this thing is actually over yet, because these guys, even though they say they're listening, I don't think they're actually listening. Still, right, they have decided to make it so that you cannot earn rewards after 100K, which was the main thing that people were complaining about, and they're still going to complain about it. So why didn't you at least mention the fact that, hey guys, we're going to double the rewards for Extreme Alliance Battle for right now, but we're going to look into increasing the rewards past 100K. It doesn't make sense to me, because if you go down here, it says the maximum score in Extreme Alliance Battle has been raised to 7 million instead of the 10 million that they were trying to push. 7 million is still double. It's still an increase, and there's still no reason to push there, because after like 10-15 seconds, right, you've already hit the maximum reward threshold, and that's it. You can just tap out and walk away. It's absolutely stupid to me, right? And then right here, they fixed an issue where Taskmaster's wire slice skill, the second skill, right, was interrupted if the enemy was too far away. Now, this is where, again, I'm going to say I'm not sure if these guys are listening, because, right, before the update even landed, I made a video where I said, hey guys, Taskmaster's 5th skill is bugged. whenever you use it the first time, actually anytime you use it, right, it goes on cooldown, and then once the cooldown reaches 6 seconds, it flips back to 9, and you have to run through that whole cycle again. Like, it's so silly to me that you would go fix a small thing like this on the 2 skill, but then leave that massive cooldown bug on his 5th skill, his most powerful and useful skill, still unchecked, and not even like mention it here. Like, it's so silly to me. Now, they did fix an issue with Red Skull that I was not aware of. They did fix something in the Epic Quest for the First Family, and they did fix an issue with Titan Records. But man, they definitely need to listen a little bit more carefully when it comes to ABX. ABX players, I still think you have to hold out on spending and kind of like force their hand a little bit. That's just my opinion, right? Because doubling the rewards up to 100K isn't enough of an incentive for people to push past 100K. It's just silly to me, right? So ladies and gents, I'm going to leave it right here. Let me know what you were thinking. I'm happy that we got the changes for World Boss Ultimate reverted, but I still think that more work needs to be done for Alliance Battle, and the Alliance Battle players definitely need better rewards. I'm just saying. Till next time, stay safe. I love you guys, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.